Ten of Discs, upright. In the end, you must observe the bigger picture as to why we do what we do. Are you trying to make money? Are you trying to get famous? Do you want power, control, domination? By asking yourself the reasons why you act as you do and attentively listening to the answers your heart offers, you may find that it is the simple things, like happiness, that inhabit the core purpose of action. Seek the purest form of what you came here to create during your lifetime on planet Earth. Each and every one of us lives a story, and it's time to take account of this and ask yourself, what story are you writing, and what legacy will you thus leave behind when you go? Legacy marks the total completion of one and the beginning of the next earthen cycle. In this, the purpose behind the effort previously applied is revealed and known. It was not about making money or building a wonderful house, but the legacy created and passed on to children, family, and friends. This is the purest form of true wealth. Each human passes through this dimension, and all that they create is left in the hands of those that they have chosen to pass it to. This is your living legacy. The grandfather holds the baby and passes on his wisdom to the next generation. Upright, legacy. Reversed, desolation. Tree of life, Malkuth. Astral signature, Mercury in Virgo. Key words: wealth, wisdom, happiness, richest potential, completion, inheritance, family, accomplishment, end and beginning. Expanded description. The Ten of Discs is the final completion of the earthen cycle. It has become clear at this point that money or reputation wasn't the purpose of our creations, but the legacy we pass down and leave behind for our family to come. This is the truest form of wealth, something that isn't only limited to the physical world, but also applies to the evolution of our soul. This card embodies energies of wisdom, happiness, wealth, completion, retirement, family, and inheritance. These ideas are shown in the card as an old grandfather holding a young baby in his arms. In the back are two scenes unfolding. On the left, we see a young couple, content with their lives. They continue the hard work of their elder and begin raising a family of their own. On the right, they sell food that was grown by the family, and so the cycle continues on. The Ten of Discs shifts the understanding of wealth from a purely physical or financial view to a more spiritual understanding. The wealth ultimately represents an energy that we can pass down through our family members so it can continue on and exist through the work of others. This pure form of wealth goes infinitely beyond money or material possessions and is instead the accumulation of loving work that is passed down over time, creating the space for a living legacy. Now is the time to ask yourself, what do you want your own legacy to be? What are you creating, and what would you like to be remembered for? You are the author of your own story and get to choose how you will be remembered. Keep in mind that once you're gone, most people will remember you for how you made them feel and what you did in your life, rather than what possessions you had. The work you've put into your creations is now being paid off on all levels. Congratulations. This is a time to acknowledge and rejoice in all of the work you've put in. Finally, being the 10, this card speaks to not only the grand finale of a great cycle, but the beginning of a new one, evolved from all of the previous lessons in the past. 10 of Discs reversed. The reverse of the 10 of Discs is very much the opposite of its upright meaning. Where this card normally speaks to the living legacy passing down wisdom through the generations, the reverse speaks to desolation. There is nothing left. It can describe financial failure or poverty of different kinds, such as no peer group or social circle to connect with. The wisdom aspect here also can relate to a dullness of mind and a general sense of laziness towards one's work, which results in the continued sense of poverty by our work and love not being channeled adequately into anything that we are doing. To turn this reversed card upright, we must take account of all of the decisions we have made throughout our lives that led us to where we are now. If we can humbly acknowledge these choices and see why we have acted this way throughout our lives, we can correct these mistakes by simply starting to act differently. Look at the big picture and set an intention for what we'd like to create. Then begin your journey anew with love in your heart and care in your actions.